And so like people
Power
sexy
though,
scenes.
do you guys want power sex scenes? All the whole universe, Force,
they go
Kanan, Ghost, they go in on sex scenes.
And you know what though?
I'm like, I don't see a tape. I don't see
I'll
a
say this
takedown.
though. I'll say this. And I'm saying this as a man. The power sex scenes are very misogynist.
Okay,
Explain that.
The women are always being seen completely. They don't really show the men. And I'm not saying because I want to see the
Well,
men.
who want to see a man on camera?
I'm just saying, dog, like I'm uncomfortable as an actor when I can tell they're taking advantage of them. Because sometimes it's like gratuitous. Like, why are we doing this sex scene right here? Like, Power does a lot of gratuitous sex scenes for no reason.
Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Nice Watch. I am your co-host, Ernestine Morrison.
And I am the other guy, Karan Joseph Riley.
Where we talk about all things TV and film. What is a nice watch? Is this a show that's worth watching, or is it a show that's kind of going to waste your time? Karan Joseph Riley.
What up, though?
What's up?
Yeah, getting to it. How you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great today. You see this pink?
Yes, it's hot.
I'm popping in
You
this
popping
pink,
today.
right?
I see
Yeah.
you. I see you. You see me in my Jay-Z blue.
I see you. I see you repping the D.
He's right, always.
So listen, what was on your watch list this week? I got a bunch of stuff that I kind of watched this week.
Ah, man. Well, you know, we talked about Hijack. Why Hijack was on there. Check that out as well as you.
Idris Elba, Hijack.
I'll tease something for maybe another episode down the road. I stumbled on this show called Wilderness. Crazy show.
Okay, what's that on? What is that on Netflix?
It's on Amazon Prime, Amazon TV. So
okay, I need to put that on my watch
yeah,
list.
put that on your watch list. You'll be on it. It's a movie about relationships and marriage and all the things that can go wrong.
Okay, I also watched the Country Wayne special. Shout out to Country Wayne, who went number one on Netflix.
Yeah.
Launched his special, A Woman's Prayer. Went number one. My husband and I watched that this week.
Still currently number 2, hanging on tough for a whole week too, and that's going on the second week. So number 2 the second week, which is still strong, and kudos to Wayne and kudos to everything you're doing, King. Proud of you. Keep peddling.
Yeah. So let's get into Hijack.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the elements that make a nice watch.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So we always talk about cinematography, of course, the shots, the directing, the acting is always number one for me because I'm an actor. It's always going to be number one for me. This project is starring Idris Elba, who we all know is a phenomenal actor. But what was really cool about this project was we're used to seeing him use his American voice, but he was in his natural British accent, London accent. And I was like, oh, okay, this is like a different side.
Right.
So Hijacked is basically about a flight that was hijacked. The plane was overtook by a few people. But I will say, it was a nice watch. But some episode, it's kind of hard to keep someone's attention when most of the show takes place in one location. And it's a miniseries. The 6 episodes took place predominantly on the plane. So I was kind of like, give me something else. In the first 3 episodes, I didn't understand why the plane was being hijacked. So it kind of took me out a little bit. Did you watch it?
Oh, you know I watched it. For me, again, I personally feel it's a nice watch. I'm a fan of Idris, and I'm a fan of his work.
What do you think about the British, his native accent?
I read somewhere, and he's been doing that a lot in a lot of his recent projects. This wasn't the only one. Of course, his Luther project is one of his big tempos. That's kind of his thing. That's always been in his London accent. His basically his natural accent. Even the Marvel stuff. He was in his accent in Marvel when he played the God.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really watch a whole lot of Marvel stuff.
Well, I mean, you got to watch everything though if you're gonna be into this world of film.
I do watch Marvel. I don't know. I watch some Marvel stuff, but I'm not.
I
love drama and I'm good for a good old Southern movie. I love me a little slave film.
Yeah, I don't see. And me, I'm not the big slave film guy. But I watched Emancipation with Will Smith. I watched it. I watched that movie and sat there and had to go ground myself outside and take a bath and all those things afterwards. Yeah. But I watch it all, EJ, just because there's so many different things and so many different skill sets as an actor that you got to be able to do in different genres. Like the drama, we dialed in for that kind of stuff. We're cool with being intimate. We're cool with being open and honest on camera. But then if you really study in the game, you got to be able to see that a lot of those guys in Marvel, they got to act against green screen.
Yeah.
that's got to be hard.
No, that's a whole different skill set, and kudos to them. And I watch some of it. It's just not it's not the thing I'm gonna go to.
Right.
And I'm a film buff. I watch all drama, comedy, action, foreign films. I love Korean films. Like I watch everything. But Marvel's like, I'm like, okay.
Well, with last week, David asked us a question about what film kind of motivated us into even being an actor, and I didn't mention The Godfather, but the other film right on the tip of my tongue was the first Superman movie, or the first Star Wars.
Yeah,
like the old school.
Yeah, the old school
blue-eyed.
stuff. Yeah, man, Christopher Reeve and the magic and the mysticism that the CGI, what it does for my imagination. Man flying and doing those type of things, and even Star Wars.
You are Superman in real life.
Yeah, in my mind, that's who I am.
Can I tell you guys a secret though? I have never seen Star Wars.
Me neither.
Ever. Oh no? Oh good. So I'm not the only one. Cool. All right, let's run it. Never seen Star Wars. I'm sorry.
What?
It's a couple films that are major cult following. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I've never seen Harry Potter. I've never seen Star Wars.
Me neither.
Either of those three.
I've never watched
none of them.
Wow.
And I'm probably one of the only people in the world who have never seen Game of Thrones either. Never watched Game of Thrones.
What about you? What about you?
Oh, this is my brother right here. Never seen it, but I watch. I love TV.
Really, you don't. You don't though. You don't. I don't want your love. I don't want any of your kind of love. Then Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're not. I mean, I don't understand. I don't even understand what are we talking about? We need to. I need a new host. I don't understand what's happening. David, get the contract done.
Are you firing me?
I can't fire you. You show with me. What I do. But season 2 might look different.
Wow.
Never.
Why are these staples though? Why? What is it about?
It's what is it about them?
Yeah.
Well, for me, if you want to be a legend in the film and the game, you got to study the legendary stuff. I think some of these things aren't necessarily. I think it's the culture of storytelling in a really broad spectrum. To me, Star Wars, the original set of them, was just an amazing story.
What is it about?
It's about basically. It's about.
I couldn't tell you what Star Wars was about.
I can tell you, is in a nutshell. I mean, the way I always see everything, I always turn everything black in my mind. So it's basically a bunch of black folks. They got all this power. They don't know how to use it, and then they get their junk took by a bunch of people in some fancy costumes with nothing but fancy costumes.
So that's what the movie's about.
But in a nutshell,
that's why it's a must watch.
That's why it's a must watch.
Well, for me, it was. I mean, it was all of it, man. You got the good, the evil. You got it's just some right on down the middle. Some basic, good old storytelling. Right, it opens up with it gives you the whole rundown of where you at in the world. The little,
I've seen that. Opening.
That's amazing, man, because it drops you into this world. I think that's what I love about film and television is that I can escape the current predicament that we're all living in. And go somewhere else for.
Well, yeah, I think that's what we all love about film and television. It puts you into someone else's world through their point of view.
And we talk about the world being created, right? If you really want to see worlds that's created, the stuff you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
You seen Avatar? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I saw the
Have
first
you seen
one.
Avatar?
I saw the first
Oh
one.
my God.
I saw the original.
What are we talking about, people?
You should have saw Avatar though. Yo, no, movie buff.
Voice in the corner with no camera right now. We're not even acknowledging right now. Let's just everybody focus cameras on me. We're gonna do this show. I don't understand what's happening right now. EJ, you didn't see Avatar either?
No.
They took that whole Avatar thing from an African village, man. James Cameron.
I read that.
Yeah, these fools is taking I watch everything as if it's us because I know they took it from us.
For sure.
Off top. So I'm like, yo, this is so my mind and my creativity. I go home and I write the House of Ra, the true Black Superman movie that's gonna be coming out that we gonna be starring in.
Yeah.
And the reason why that movie's gonna be made is because I studied all these movies that create stories and create franchises and create worlds.
Yeah.
Terry wrote the script. She's like, oh, you created a whole world.
Yeah.
I'm basically got.
You finished the script.
Yeah, I got a Bible. It's a world, man. We got stuff that's gonna be able to be in toy stores.
Yeah.
Right? And it's gonna be a cultural movement. Yeah, we can do the Notebook all day, every day, but there ain't gonna be no cultural movement.
The Notebook I saw
the Notebook.
The Notebook was a
wait to jump in.
phenomenal film.
A great film. I've seen
Rachel
everything
McAdams?
from the Notebook all the way up to Avatar.
Okay, but wait, I want to rewind back to Hijacked.
Yeah, let's get back to Hijack. Let's get back to the show.
This was the watch of the week.
Yeah.
And I still just, for the life of me, it was a nice watch, but it just took, for me, it took too long to get to who are these people and what are they doing? Especially for it to be a film that was shot in one location. It's like, I feel like I needed more action and more information up front. Action. I needed more information. So says a person who's never seen Marvel movies or Avatar. You should go check out a Marvel movie. You won't be so starving for action. You can sit down and watch a six episode. No, I mean, I watched it. I finished it in a day. I finished it, but I just still felt like. And another thing is like, I'm so used to seeing Idris as like this powerful person. At any given moment, I was expecting him to just control the scene and like pull the gun out
and that's why. But that's what I loved about this take and this version of him, because he was using his mind, because that's what he did in his job. Yes. He was a guy who went in and he was like the guy when you about to negotiate the $1 billion deal and it's at the last fourth quarter. Yeah. This is when he comes in, because he's the one who takes everything over the top with his mind, his level of persuasion, his acumen, his ability to read people and get them to do what you want them to do, even when they don't want to do it.
And making it think it was their idea.
And making them think it was their idea.
Yeah. Now, that's what I did appreciate about it.
So that was the piece that I was enjoying watching. I was sitting here watching him work the passengers. Yeah. Then work the hijackers. Yeah. Then at the same time, he's still working his wife and his kid on the ground.
Yeah. So that is a great point. So that's what, to me, made it a nice watch, because I had a level of expectation because it was Idris. I had this expectation. But I liked how the same outcome came without, but it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen. He used intelligentsia. He used his mind. Mm-hmm. He used strategy. Like, he worked the pilot. He worked the other passengers. Right. He worked the hijackers. While still playing on his phone. Man, I don't want to give away too much, but still working his family life. All these things. That was chess. Yeah, what that was like, they showed us a game of chess.
They showed us an amazing game of chess. They showed us. And I also love seeing a black man beat a bunch of white people at what they trying to do. It's just something for me that was just empowering throughout the whole movie for me. You know what I'm saying? It was him in this plane. Then they had the one loose cannon of the hijacker. That was the brother. He was out of control. But again, I loved the nuances that Idris brought to the role. I love the character development. That was those first 2 or 3 episodes that you were talking about that were slow.
So yes,
because you have to go to each passenger and get enough from that passenger to understand what's going to happen in the last 3 episodes. Because once the last 2, maybe 2.5, 3 episodes, it picked up fast. It started happening, right? And so you have to be able to understand people's actions without saying, now why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? What was that about? But if you was in that first 2 or 3, it's basically 2.5 where it was slow, like you were saying.
It's kind of it was slow, but it was smart. It was smart, exactly. So kudos to the writer, because it was very intelligent, but it just took you a while to like stay on board. But I also loved the wife's new husband, or her new boyfriend, who I like the one scene where they went to the son's house, where the 2 guys were in there and they were like, had the guns out and stuff, and they tricked him with the alarm scene, and he came out and then they got the son out like that. That was like a clever way. Yeah, everybody was using their intelligence to solve the problem in this one, and I think that was actually a really good, good thing to see. And there's also, again, if you have an attention span more geared to now what the world is 30 seconds at a time, you could get caught up in being like, oh my God, what's happening here? But I think what constitutes now, even what we're here doing this show for, is like a nice watch is a show that you can put your phone down and not worry about Instagram for 45 minutes or an hour and actually dig in and watch it. I think that it did that for me. I got on the gram a couple times during episode 2.
Well, obviously, because you said you was already kind of losing you in episode 2, so I think that's I see why that happened. But for me, I was locked in. And again, I watched it a little sooner. I watched it a couple when it first came out. So I had to deal with the weekly release.
So you watched it weekly. Okay, so I got to binge watch it.
You got to binge watch it.
Yeah.
Binge watching anything that's designed in that long form is going to fatigue you. I mean,
it wasn't. It's a miniseries.
Yeah, but that's 6 episodes. It was a 3-hour. I mean, how many episodes is like 45 minutes to an hour? So you basically watch a 6-hour movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody watching a 6-hour movie is gonna get out of it.
No. I mean, when I binge watch stuff, We were binge
6
watching.
hours.
We were binge watching Suits last night. I think we were like on episode 7.
But that's a classic. That joint is.
And Suits is about law and it moves fast constantly. You know
No,
what I'm
just saying there's a whole culture of binge watchers, and I know I'm not the only one that we binge watch stuff. Like I can sit at home and watch something a whole day, 2 days, 3 days in a row. That Hijack didn't get me like that. I watched it just for the sake of let me finish this project, but it didn't get me like how Suits got me or Lincoln Lawyer. When I put on Lincoln Lawyer, I was in like 6 episodes straight.
And again, it's the jargon.
That's why it's called binge watching, Karan.
Yeah, I get that. I get the binge. I get all that. But again, the whole point of the show is just people will sit down and watch, not necessarily a binge, but maybe just sit down for it. Because who really has the luxury of sitting around 8 hours and watching a show at one time? Not a lot of people. You do.
And other binge watchers.
Other binge watchers as well.
My
but
friends.
Again, exactly. But again, you have to. I set it up to where to say, can you put your phone down for 1 hour and lock in and be done, and just be locked in for 1 hour.
Let me ask you.
Challenge that.
When you're looking for something to watch, does it matter if it's a movie or a series?
Not for me.
For me, it does. It depends on the type of mood I'm in. If I'm in a mood where when I don't have a whole lot of time, like I'm just gonna watch a movie. But if I'm like, I got hours and I want to binge watch, I'm gonna choose a series.
Maybe I just got commitment issues because like something new, I'm not. I just for some reason in my brain, I just skip over series.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a whole lot of time to sit and watch a series.
Maybe it's, I can't commit. I can't commit.
Or maybe you have commitment issues.
Maybe
that's what it is.
Maybe.
Again, it comes down to your lifestyle and what you're doing. Like Dave, he's running a podcast empire, so it's hard to sit down and do anything for 8 hours except maybe sleep. And I doubt he gets 8 hours a night.
Doubt it.
I doubt it. Because every time I hear his voice is raspy, so that means he's tired.
You're tired.
Right. Exactly.
Clear your throat.
Exactly.
So for what do you think is the difference between the mindset of a person that's just creating just a movie versus somebody that's doing a series? What is the difference from a creative standpoint? What would you lean into if you had an idea saying, I'm going to create something? Like, what's the difference between, okay, I'm going to create a movie versus a series?
Time.
I think, and how much you got to say.
Yeah.
How much you want to talk about. If it's a movie and you know it's fast, you want to do something in 90 minutes to an hour and a half, 2 hours max if you're really doing something, get it done in 2 hours. But if you want something that's extensive and you want to take your time developing it and really do a series.
Yeah, I think it's development. So it's like you can have a dope idea and you're like, oh, this would be a nice watch. But if it's something that's quick and it doesn't have longevity in the story, there's no arcs, you can't really build off of it. It's like, okay, this is a film. But if you have something that's like, this is a lifetime, this is a whole world that I'm building that has multiple lives, multiple storylines, then it's a series. Because you can't do so many storylines in just like one movie. But if like I'm making a movie about your life, it's got to be a series. Because there's so many different seasons of your life. There's so many different people and characters that have to come in and we have to develop them and they have their one-off storylines. So it's like, it depends on how much time, resources, and development you want to put into it.
Walk me through like the development of that. And also, are they shooting like a long day and that's maybe broken up into 2 or maybe broken up into 3, or are they shooting it specifically this one and it stops here, second one?
So are we talking about a series right now?
Yeah, series.
Okay, so a series you can do it either way. You can do block shooting, which you may shoot 3 episodes in one day in an 8 to 10 hour day. You'll jump around from scene to scene. We might do one.
If you're in
scene.
Atlanta.
LA too. I mean, they do block shooting in LA.
Well, depends if it's network. Like network shows, they're still shooting an episode in a week. Hamptons,
we shot 3 or 4 episodes a day, depending on what.
Really?
Yeah, because locations. If you got a mansion you renting for $20,000 a day, and you got to shoot in that mansion for 8 episodes, you're not gonna spend 8 weeks.
Oh
there.
yeah.
You'll shoot there in a week, and you shoot all episodes out in that week at that mansion.
But do you think? I'm talking about network like ABC, NBC, Fox. Do you think they do that? I think they shoot still one episode.
Well, I haven't shot for ABC or Fox or anybody like that yet, so I can't tell you what they do.
I think they're doing a week. I think they do 1 episode a week.
One episode a week?
Yeah.
And because they waste a lot of money. They do, and that's why people striking now because they stupid.
Well, it's over now, right?
No, the writers are off strike, not the actors.
The writers in strike now, but again, the reason why we're striking now because those folks burn a lot of money doing stupid stuff instead of just sharing the wealth. They shoot an episode in a week.
How about let's break down why the strike happened, what's going on with the strike, and like Can we talk about that?
We can, but is that another? That could be another episode. I don't know. Do we diversify into the strike, or do we stay here? Because I don't I don't know.
When I do pods, they go wherever they're supposed to.
I see.
But I will say, to Karan's point, though, the way we have been shooting stuff on most of the projects that we've been on and that we've created, we batch shoot. Just like you batch shoot a podcast, like we'll shoot. Like when I just did Tyler Perry's Ruthless, he shot 22 episodes in like
2 hours.
22 episodes in like 2 weeks, and we were shooting multiple episodes a day. So again, like if we're using this mansion, if this mansion is in episode 1, 2, and 6, we're gonna shoot episode 1, 2, and 6 all on the same day in this mansion to get this location, keep this location just to one day. Then if we're shooting at the cafeteria, if the cafeteria scene is in episode 5, 6, and 8, we're shooting all 5, 6, and 8 in that cafeteria just to block it out and get it done.
And now Tyler doesn't have location issues like any other producer will have because he owns all the locations.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but
he still shoots that way.
But he shoots that way again because the efficiency of
time and money.
It's efficient. If I got like I said, like if you got, I don't give a damn if I got $100 million to shoot, and I could blow all that by shooting an episode a week, I wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense. Like we not building rocket ships to take people to another planet. So what are we doing?
It's got to make sense to somebody.
It makes sense to people lining their pockets other ways.
No, I would disagree with that slightly.
Man, you know how much money these folks be burning?
You see the difference in production quality from a show that's taking their time and shooting one episode in a week than you do in the quality of a show that is shooting multiple episodes in a day.
There is a difference.
There is a difference, absolutely.
Yeah, because you're going to spend X amount of dollars adding 200 more extras. You're going to get the crane shot that comes down and do all the swoop. That takes a day to set that shot up for one swoop of that. Now,
but when you watch it, it looks cold. You're like, it looks cold, I see the difference.
But was it worth the $20,000?
It wasn't. It wasn't because somebody gonna pick up an Instagram and be doing this during the shot. So for me, I'm learning as a producer to not shoot myself in the foot trying to make something over the top that people ain't gonna appreciate anyway. Like at this point, let me get the level of quality that I need for my comfortability to be great and just shoot and play. Like just go. And put this extra money that we saving and shoot another project.
Well, from a monetary perspective, Dave, if you were shooting, say you were shooting your podcast, say you had a crew and your crew had a day rate, you can use that day rate and get them to shoot 8 episodes of your podcast in one day, and then you save money there, opposed to coming in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they're charging you each day they have to come in. If you're like, oh well, I'm gonna just shoot it all in one day and get this one day rate off y'all. That's kind of the difference.
And I would, and being like a fair producer, I would just add a higher day rate because it's about to be a long, hard day we about to put in. So I'm gonna bump you up a little bit and give you more today versus then I would just, and everybody's happy.
Gotcha. Dang, I was gonna ask about the quality effect because we all love Tyler Perry, and I've just seen. I've talked to some people. You're not a fan?
No.
I love Tyler. Listen,
I love what Tyler's done.
I love Tyler Perry
as a black man who's done what he's done in the world, in the community, as in our entertainment world. Can't knock it. It's like, who's the GOAT? Michael Jordan or LeBron? Can't knock what LeBron's done, but he's not the GOAT. Yeah. To me. It's just an opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not knocking on anything that Tyler's done as an artist. I just think he hasn't taken the scope to this really blow it out the water with the cinematography that he could. You know what I'm saying? With the resources.
Explain. I don't understand.
If you're sitting in a scene, you got 2 shots in the scene. And that's the 2 shots you get in every scene for 8 episodes.
He could have added another camera.
I mean, he has another. I mean, just or a different angle or a different something just to give it a different feel of creativity.
You're not a fan of the art.
Just the art, the way he shoots. Just the way he shoots.
Well, let me tell you why I'm a fan. I want to say this publicly. I love me some Tyler Perry. I moved to Atlanta for Tyler Perry. I've loved him for years. I think that everyone has a different style. Mm-hmm. And I think that he found a style that works for him and his audience.
Absolutely.
He's done a brilliant job building a cult audience following that follows him from the plays to the movies to the shows. And I think that what he's done was create a product and a strategy, a formula for his product that works. Yeah. And he really set a standard. He really has set a standard that I think people in Hollywood are trying to figure out, like, how is he doing that? How is he pumping out these shows?
Because Tyler, at the end of the day, he's still a black king, so he's doing what we do. amazing stuff. Like what he's done, he got 2 major studios.
Yeah.
He has got 50 shows on network TV doing what he does. You can't, like I said, you can't take away anything. I'm just saying, as a film fan,
Yeah.
I'm just not that in that. I'm not in that world of the world that he's created as far as that. And I've done shows with. I've done 3 shows with Tyler. I did Meet the Browns, Love Thy Neighbor, and what was the other one? One other one. But again, even as an artist, just the pace we be shooting it even in.
I loved it. Actually, I just did 6 episodes of Ruthless, and I loved the pacing. We shot multiple episodes. It was gruesome. It was hard. But you know what I loved about it as an actor? It was a masterclass, because if you can shoot multiple episodes in a day,
you can do anything.
You can do anything.
And
so
exactly,
it really was a class. It was a master class in how to get stuff done efficiently and fast.
Yeah, it was a play done on TV that you had to do, and you had to, and you treated it like basically on stage, because on stage you don't have a do-over.
No, but we shot. Yeah, from the perspective of not having a do-over, that's how the play.
And that's how he gets so much done, because he boom, 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 boom. You get And when I was shooting, we did 3 takes at the most.
We did 1 take of everything. I did
really?
1 take of everything, and I loved it, because as an actor, it stretched me. I'm like, Ernestine, you got 1 shot. There is no like redoing it. There is no, oh, can I get one more? It was like, show them you can act in this 1 take. That's all you got. So I really feel like it separates people who really can do what they do and get there quick, because I had a lot of emotional scenes. Guns was pulled out on me. Oh, it was crazy. I'm like, okay, if you're an actor, it's time to show up. You don't have multiple takes.
And the good thing
that's what I loved about it.
And the good thing is, you're an actor, but then you get somebody who's not really necessarily an actor, and they still under those same parameters. So then when we see it in performance, we see that they weren't really that good.
Yep, the cream will rise to the top, baby. If you're not the cream, you shouldn't be up over there. I tell you that much.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Is you're just not gonna get that many creams and shit. There's not that many creams in the world, EJ. That's why it's called rising creams to the top. If you're not the cream, then you really need a couple takes to get your stuff together. And sometimes in performing, that's another thing about the big giant productions. Imagine being able to do 2 pages in one day, 2 or 3 pages a day.
Explain to the audience what that means, because everyone knows what that means.
When you say doing 2 or 3 pages a day, when we're working, you have a page count when you get to set, and that's pretty much giving you your schedule for what's going to be shot that day. In our independent world, we can go 10, 12, 15 pages a day, because we got to. We don't have $10 million to burn that day. But in a world where you have a budget of $100 million, you're gonna spend you get there and you got 2 pages. Got 2 pages of dialogue. Everything in that's 2 pages. They're going to find everything in that pages to get everything on camera as many ways they can, in many angles, as many ways they can do it. So then when you get into editing, you have this beautiful, full, encapsulated world. And not to mention the actors. The performances are always amazing, because I've had 10 hours to do 2 pages of dialogue.
You know, all the time to prepare.
Every page is a minute, right?
Every page is a minute on film.
I know a little something about a little something.
Okay, look at you. Let's go.
So imagine that. So I got 10 hours to do this scene. So if me and EJ had a whole day to do a scene, dog, we gonna get an Oscar. It's not gonna happen. It's no other way around it. And we could definitely get on and do 1 take and be out too. But I don't give it. I'm great at what I do. But dang it, I'm really great after I get to warm up. Yeah. Like, I can go hoop and do all these amazing things physically. I can go ride my bike really fast for a mile. But you give me a 10-mile warm up, buddy, I'm really good.
Yeah.
So we will. What you're saying is we're not going to see Denzel Washington, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie in a Tyler Perry movie.
No,
it's over with.
Probably not.
Never.
Probably not.
You might get Morgan Freeman because you might get Morgan Freeman because Morgan Freeman only give you 1 take anyway. He's like, you get 1, and that's his method.
Really?
He's like, yo, I'm giving you 1 take. You better catch it all, get done.
That's lit.
Morgan Freeman gives you 1 take.
1 take
for any actor. Doesn't matter who you are.
Morgan Freeman gives you 1. He's gonna get you 1.
Jeez.
And so if you're
you better be prepared.
So if you're in the scene with him, buddy, and because if you miss you might not even get to act with him.
That's crazy.
He's that meaning, like, we do a scene. I'm on my coverage. After I'm done, all right, I'm out. Have fun.
How do you know this?
I study this thing. I don't just be acting, dog. I study.
No, there's a lot of actors though who, if the coverage is not on them, like say you and I are in a scene together, the camera's on you, you do your scene, and then when the camera's supposed to be on me, you may just be like, oh, I'm walking away.
Really?
So now I have to pretend you're there and do my coverage.
And
Some actors are like that. They're like, all right, you got it.
Why?
Because they're weirdos. Actors are weirdos. We're all freaking weird.
We are. And then you have some actors who really, to me, I just don't do the self-important actors. People that really think they're more important than they are. They're like, dude, you're acting.
Well, let me tell you something why I really don't like the self-important
and it's selfish.
actors. Because I know all the actors out there, even writers, directors, whatever, in this industry. You were in acting class at one point, working your tail off. If you were in acting class, because some of them, yeah. But at one point, for the serious ones who studied the craft, you were in acting class, just wishing on a star, waiting for that one line, waiting for that one chance. And you finally get there, and then you get big time, and you get a name, and you have a trailer, and you're number 1 or 2 on the call sheet. And now all of a sudden, you're just so important. I'm like, don't forget the time you're in acting class when you were wishing on a star, waiting for that one line, wishing for somebody to see you. Now all of a sudden, you get on set, and now you think your stuff don't stink. I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I think about acting class all the time. I'm like, Ernestine, I remember being in acting. Shout out to Terry J. Vaughn. I remember being in Terry J. Vaughn's acting class. Like, I can't wait for a line. My first time booking something as an adult was one line in Think Like a Man 2 with Kevin Hart. Man, that one line
killed
was
it though.
I killed that one line. I couldn't wait for that one line.
Did. I remember that scene.
Listen, I flew to LA and took all my friends to see the movie for my one line. We went to the movie theater 30 deep. My friends, my family from high school. And we went and saw my one line. And I remember that to this day, no matter if I book a recurring or whatever I book. I'm like, I'm never going to get that one line. I'm never going to forget being in acting class, just hungry for it.
I love it.
So you actors who get on set, you too important. And like, oh, the trailer's not big enough. And oh, the sparkling water wasn't there. It's like, don't forget acting class.
Yeah. Now one thing I do, I'm going to have is my sparkling water. I don't give a damn.
We're trying to give me the sparkling water.
No, but seriously, I agree. EJ, you really, I really... It really burns me up when people really put too much importance on the individual self when it comes to especially filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate team sport.
Yeah.
People talk about sports and football. Like, I played team sports for a living. Like, I get it. I understand that, yes, people may be calling me for the interview and the lights might be on me, but I know there's 20 people all around here that's making Karan look and sound and be as great as Karan can be.
Yeah.
I take no credit for that.
Yeah.
I can take... And I take it no seriousness of myself. I'm like, dude, my job was to come here and create a character and know these lines and breathe this character. I have a support of a wardrobe department. I have a crafty sound, hair, makeup, lighting, PAs. Everybody who's there is there to make sure I look amazing. Yeah. So I don't take any credit for really being dope. At the same time, it's like, yo, I did my job being prepared. And after that, this is a community effort
for sure.
And
you realize too, I've realized that the more sets I've been on, I've been on set since I was 10 years old. The more sets I've been on, I realize actors really are the last on the totem pole. We may be the ones that are in front of the camera and in the interviews, but like once I started producing, I'm like, oh, it's really the producers. It's like the actors, like pipe it down a little bit, babe.
And again, once I started producing, I actually even got even more humility as an actor, because now I'm thinking as an actor and a producer, and I don't want to make their jobs harder.
Yeah.
I don't want to make what they already got going on, a million things moving around, make that more
putting
difficult.
Out fires and
I don't want to be a fire.
Yeah.
Only fire I want to be is the one that's burning bright that everybody want to come see and
right.
And they keep hiring me because I'm bringing that kind of heat.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring the other heat.
Yeah.
The heat of, oh my God, what does Karan need now?
Yeah.
No, I'm the guy that's probably I could be the biggest star on the call sheet, and I'm the least bothered person.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
I had to learn that over time. I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, when I first started like getting on sets as an adult, because I started as a child, but as an adult, there were seasons where I was feeling myself, and just the older, more mature I got, I realized like, pipe it down, babe. This is a team sport. This is a team. And you know what's so cool, Dave, about what makes it really nice watching when you're watching a scene in a movie and you love this film or you love this show. There are like 30, 40 people on set that you don't see on the camera. They're there. They're like right where the camera is. They're all around they're in the room with you. So when there's a love scene or a scene that's getting really steamy, there's 40 people in that room. And they're all working behind the scenes to make sure that these two people in this scene are having a great scene. So it's like, you have to appreciate its totality of filmmaking.
Yep.
It's the best boy there. It's the person who's holding the lighting. It's the PA making sure everyone's straight. It's the director. It's the producers. It's the lights. It's like everything. It's the props person on set, making sure the props are put back and making sure when you drink your beer, they refilled it on the next take. Like it's just so many moving parts.
Yep. And I pride myself on being an actor who's conscious of those people at all times.
Yeah.
Like I'm always conscious of making sure everybody else is good. When all they do is worry about, if you don't say they worry about, all they care about is are you comfortable? Are you good? Hey, stop worrying about me, man. Do you see me? I'm strong. I'll be fine. I make sure you're good. You're good. I'm good. Just don't bother my mic right now. I need to concentrate.
I got a question. I always wondered this. A sex scene, when you can see that they not wearing nothing, but they on each other. What's going on right there? Is there anything right there?
That's Karan, because he's had a whole bunch of sex scenes. I ain't had no sex scenes.
I had a lot of sex scenes.
I had no sex scenes yet.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Karan's a sex symbol on these TV streets. You hear me?
I am a sex symbol on these TV streets. It's not sexy at all. It's not sexy at all. It's not. It's not for the people doing it. Not for me. I haven't had a scene in my career that has been like, oh my God, no. It's always technical. 30 people around, and we do have stuff on. Like
you can't really see
because they do skin flesh tone underwear, so it matches your skin.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, trust me.
First off, I paused the movie. Like, hold on.
Is that her? Is that a crack? Is that a crack?
Yeah, and you also got to understand post production. They have the ability to go in post, and any line that was there, and that's why it's flesh tone. See, a flesh tone panty, they can blur that line out on film and in the final product, and it looks like you had nothing on right there.
God. Well, there are some of the stuff that I know you're probably referring to. There are some scenes where the butt cheeks are out, but they may be taped down, so in the front of them is taped.
And then you pull and then you can pull your underwear down just so you can see the butt crack, and then the butt crack is once you see the butt crack, you assume that they're naked, but.
Yeah, but
no, he's talking about scenes
Belly, when he got out the shower.
Yeah,
he was like, "I don't know, no Kiana," and he's chasing after her like,
"Oh yeah." Yeah. Now, again, like, I've done scenes where I had nothing on and the actress had on.
But you were taped down, right?
I had, like, one of those socks.
Yeah.
Those little socks they put on you.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's like a sock. And it just kind of, it's like a jock strap without the strap. And it just sits over your stuff. So, again, and then I'm an ex-athlete, bro, so I don't have no real body. I don't have no body consciousness where I'm nervous about my body, no shape, fashion, or form. So I'm the actor who's like, they have intimacy coaches. Now, one of our good friends, Tequila, is an actress as well, but in the pandemic, she picked up a new skill set of being an intimacy coach. And I had a movie recently with Denise Boutte, which is like my sister, Terry's sister, and we had to do like a shower scene where I had to come up behind her, and it's on a Mother's Tuition. It's out right now on TV One. And it was, everybody was on set was like, we had this intimacy coach like, do I need to get you some spandex or some tight pants or something? I'm like, what's that for? And she was like, well, just in case you lose your control. I said, man, I've been doing this 15 years. I ain't gonna lose no control. Like I have no mindset when there's 50 people around here.
It's 50 people on this set.
There's no way in my mind I'm thinking it's about to go down.
But
and Dave, what's
no,
cool? The intimacy coordinators literally coordinate a scene. They'll coordinate where, okay, put your hand here, to move your leg here, and then they will coordinate.
That sounds bad.
It's terrible.
I hold you.
It's not though. It's not. It's actually making it even more technical. Like it's almost
it's
a
like a dance.
Yeah, it's a dance, but before the intimacy coordinators, I was cool with the director working with the two actors and the DP, giving us where the camera's gonna be so we can move here with this arm here. If I'm over here rolling, I use this arm to cover up a breast, and then we roll and you do this, and it's all like it's a dance. But I was cool with the director. I didn't need an intimacy coordinator calling me at 8:00 the night before we shoot, asking me, do I have any hang-ups. Only thing I had was body odor. I was like, just don't have no body odor.
Oh, you're saying in that shower scene, you just walked up, so you ain't have nothing on. You just walk up.
I had on shorts. I had on swimming trunks because all they were shooting was from up to here anyway.
So she was saying,
she didn't have on the top. I had on we both were topless.
Okay,
gotcha.
So I came up behind her, put my arms around her arms here, covering up her chest. I'm behind her. Boom, boom, boom. She, we coordinated her turn. It was just that. It wasn't anything overly technical. But again, the new intimacy coordinator, I had about 3 conversations with her that I didn't need to have. You know what I'm saying? I was like, baby, I'm cool. Like, I'm not a Me Too guy. I'm not a guy who's going to take advantage of the fact that I get this beautiful woman with her clothes off. I don't care.
A little bit.
I don't. I don't.
Dave said,
I don't have any, because again, Dave, I'm not going to be able to complete the deal. This is not a deal. This is not a deal going down. This is me being an actor, me doing. I want it to be amazing and look great on camera. That's what I'm thinking about. Like,
and it's really work. Like, it's like actors, it's really work for us.
It is.
My husband was talking to me about like intimate scenes, and I'm like, babe, it's truly work. Like,
oh man, Terry and I had the
it's
same
just like
conversation.
when you clock in to work, and some people clock in and sit at a computer, and it's the same way. I'm like, I'm clocking in. Okay, cool. I've got this guy's to touch me here. I've got to hug him here. He's got to kiss me here. Cool. Now I'm clocking out. When the director yells cut, then I'm clocked out. It's literally a job. Everyone's on set watching me. It's not like we're gonna duck off in the back room and you know what I mean.
Yeah, and again, it's like once you get to a certain level of maturity in life, it's like, babe, it's just it's a kiss, it's a hug, it's that. It ain't. I'm not giving them my credit. I'm not giving them my. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving them my life. It's just really what this is. Like, it's work. And so like people
power
sexy
though.
scenes.
Do you guys want power sex scenes? All the whole universe. Force.
Oh, they go in.
Kanan, Ghost. They go in on sex scenes.
And you know what though?
I'm like, I don't see a tape. I don't see.
I'll
a
say this
down.
though. I'll say this. And I'm saying this as a man. The power sex scenes are very misogynist.
Okay,
Explain that.
The women are always being seen completely. They don't really show the men. And I'm not saying because I want to see the men.
Who want to see a man on camera?
I'm just saying, though, like, I'm uncomfortable as an actor when I can tell they're taking advantage of them. Because sometimes it's like gratuitous. Like, why are we doing this sex scene right here? Like, Power does a lot of gratuitous sex scenes for no reason sometimes. I can tell they're doing this because this is their brand now. It's not necessarily part of the story. It doesn't help me. It
doesn't push the story
It doesn't
forward.
help me enjoy this episode that much better if they didn't have that scene with the girl, all her breasts out, riding and grinding and all
Bent
this shit.
over.
Yeah, it just, for me,
It
maybe
adds something.
I don't think so, man.
What does it add, Dave?
It adds a little entertainment. Sex always sells. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it sells when you got a simple mind and you at that stage in your life where that kind of simplicity gets you excited. But I'm past that now, I think.
for you, yes.
For you,
But the
involved mind, but the average viewer.
I can't relate to that average thinking. Like, I was average in my 20s.
So they're like, scene. Hold on, we haven't had sex in a minute.
Yeah, it feels like that,
That's how
doesn't
it feels
it?
like.
It'd be the
This
first
sex scene
episode.
was like-
It was great. All of a sudden, episode 4 opens up with a crazy grind session, and it'd be some serious hunching going on. I feel like I'm at an R. Kelly concert. See what happened to him? I'd be like, whoa. And I'm sitting there with my daughter, 8-year-old daughter sometime, like,
Well, why is your daughter watching Power? Because you shouldn't be sitting there with her watching Power anyway.
well, you should better watch Power. They ain't talking about nothing but drug dealing and killing. Shit, it ain't nothing crazy. But when they start pulling out the
That
girl
ain't
that got her
crazy.
hair getting pulled back and this
Hold on,
and that.
rewind. We first of all, our 8-year-old should not be
Hey, man.
watching drugs, guns on Power.
Hey man, she gonna watch that either sitting there with me or she gonna be watching it somewhere else by herself. I'd rather sitting there watching me so she got questions I can answer them properly.
I put Kobe in her room when I'm watching Power.
Man, trust me. I tell you what, I don't hide the world from my kids. I just want to be there and get them to understand it.
Yeah,
Because I remember my parents had do the right thing. Not do the right thing. She got to have it. They hid that cassette from us, that VHS Spike Lee joint.
Yeah.
She hit it.
No, my dad and them, they hid it from us. It was called She Gotta Have It.
Yeah, she gotta have it.
Yeah, you remember, you saw the original, right? Yeah.
Karan, you are a movie buff.
Yeah, I went back and watched that boy 20 times. Every time they left the house, I was watching She's Gotta Have It. Because I was like, what's this? And I was like, oh my God, this is what they're hiding? So, because at that early age, I understood if you take it and you hide it from them, they become intrigued and they're more adept to go after it and look at it. Like when I used to smoke weed, I used to smoke in front of the kids and they be like, what are you doing? I was like, because my kids don't grow up and think smoking weed is uncool because their dad did it. Like that, I understand that dynamic. Like if you want your kids to not smoke weed, smoke weed. If you don't want them to smoke weed, hide smoking weed from them. Like they not gonna know. And then they know you hiding something, so now they're gonna be intrigued to go do it.
Nah.
Trying to tell you, bro.
Nah.
Psychology major.
If you see your dad doing it and you see your friends doing it, you're like, oh, this ain't nothing.
Yeah, my dad does it.
No, you're
does all
not.
the
Trust
time.
me. Everything you think about when y'all was kids, dog. Anything your parents did, you didn't think that was cool. Think about it. In your teenage years.
But if the world is making it seem cool, and then your parents are doing it, then you're like, oh,
Bruh.
okay. That's the cool thing to do.
The moment you see your dad or your mom do it, I don't give a dang if somebody up your home, dog, man, my old man be doing that. You whack. He's whack. My dad is not cool. No matter how cool I am in real life, I'm not cool to my kids.
Let me ask this question. I forgot the name of it, but I started watching it, and then it got a little left. It was the show about it's like strip clubs, and it's a guy,
P-Valley,
girl, yeah.
P-Valley.
You watched that?
I watched the first season.
P-Valley.
I watched the first season, but I couldn't get to the second.
Why?
Because it got a little weird.
They just had they just had men doing stuff that just wasn't necessary. It was again, I can't be misogynist on one end and not take up for my brothers on the other end because they was like, why this guy gotta just be a flaming guy that does this, and then he had the rapper that was having a down low bisexual relationship that he actually was showing.
This is reality.
Let me say, I like P-Valley.
I love the performance. I love the perform. Like homegirl that led it, she was dope. Everybody was dope acting wise. I can't be mad about the performance. But again, for me, I play a bisexual character on the backbone of Black Hamptons.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did you kiss somebody?
No. I didn't do anything physical.
For the art,
No.
would you though?
No, you can find a gay actor to do that. There's gay actors that will kiss a man willingly and be happy about it.
But you're saying, but not all gay actors that have done that are gay. Not all actors that have done that are gay. Right?
No, I don't know. Are they? But now, what we can't do with me is you can't speculate and guess. Because for me, it was a hard line, bro. I was like, look, I got contract control on that. I got to put that in my contract. I have scene control.
What was the most you had to do in that?
Nothing. I changed everything that got close to anything physical.
So how do you convey your relationship on the
Because I'm
show?
an actor.
I'm saying, what do you do? How is your relationship conveyed? Just do the words.
Because that's how acting is. Silent film. You can convey everything you can without doing anything.
So you don't do anything on the show?
No, I sit there and have conversations with my side guy. And we talk like we're having a conversation like me and Dave would be.
Wait, do you guys have sexy conversations?
No.
Oh wow.
Man, I don't think a man who's not flamboyantly in that world would even have those kind of conversations, even if he was in that world. Like to me, it was just being truthful to the character. Like my character is married, kids. He has his. I looked at my little side fetish as I was having some psychological breakdown and had daddy issues. So I was creating all these little different things
in your own head.
Yeah, for it to make sense, for me to even be able to play it truthfully in my way. Like, because I told him, I was like, look, man, I'm not touching. Definitely, like it was a scene where they had me wanting to like be getting out. I was out the bed and he was gonna be in the bed, and I was supposed to be getting dressed. And I was like, nope, scratch that. We're not doing that. It's like, why? I was like, cause if they find this project 100 years from now, I'm long gone, and you just get a still of me in a picture, and he's behind me with his shirt off, sitting up like this. The picture says that was my lover. You don't even have to catch the context of what it's about because a picture's worth 1,000 words. I don't put nothing on camera that I have to that I want to have to explain to my son or my daughter.
You said that after the contract was signed or before?
I said that before I took the role because they offered the role and I was like, all right, well let me run down my deal. If you can deal with the way I'm gonna handle this, then let's go play. But because I asked the actor question, it was very very professional. Is the love story between him and the man A, B, or C story? Now, just to break it down to the audience, A story would mean that there's physicality. This is the main point of the story that we're watching, Brokeback Mountain. A story, love affair between two men. Halfway through. I did. I got halfway through. I think that second trip to the mountain, I lost it. Second trip to the mountain, I was like, you know what? I get it. I understand.
I do appreciate Karan because he will always try. You are a true artist. He's gonna try. He said, "I try."
Bruh, I played it.
Watched a little bit of P-Valley.
I watched the whole season. They didn't really get crazy to about episode 5 or 6 with the, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, it got a little crazy. But what I do love about P-Valley, Dave, is like art should reflect the times, and there are men who struggle. There are women who struggle. There are people who struggle with their sexuality, just like you brought up the rapper. I know for a fact that there are rappers in the culture who
absolutely
100%.
question their sexuality, or maybe they already know what they know about their sexuality, but they're afraid to come out because of what the world's gonna say or what the idea of a rapper should look like. So I like when shows depict real life and depict truth and where everybody can see themselves on TV.
Would you pay?
It may not be for me, but I know that you probably deal with this, and I like that you get to see yourself on TV.
Would you play a lesbian?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kisses?
I would kiss, yeah, for sure. I mean, I would kiss a girl. Sure, on screen.
I guess that's kind of normal. I mean, not normal, but
It's a lot more normal for that than other way for me.
100%.
My husband would probably rather see me play a lesbian role on camera than he would for me to kiss a guy.
Oh.
My husband is not with the kissing.
Yeah, I definitely see as a husband, I don't have the hang up either way.
Mm-hmm.
Like Terry can go do whatever scene she wants to do, however she wants to. It's whatever. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Even if she was on Power and them text scenes on Power, she had a scene like that, you wouldn't care.
Don't bother me.
But he knows there's no real touching or interaction.
But it seems like you're an actor, so actors understand.
I just look again. I'm in a state of my life where, like, again, I've been on independent projects where they wanted me to be the love guy doing this, and then they had a young actress that would come in and they be like, "Yo, we gonna have y'all doing this, doing." I'm like, "No, we're not doing that."
Mm-hmm.
And this is independent stuff where I have all the power. Like when I'm on the independent set, I am Idris. I am Will Smith. Like I control everything. I'm gonna control shots. I'm controlling everything. Period. Because I've earned that at this point. If you want me on your independent project, you can pay my day rate. I am going to control this image as much as possible. And if anything, make me a producer as well because I need control. Because I will cast my friends as the lead in independent films too. I've done it. I pull up to, hey, I need this actress for this.
Yeah. And
they be like, all right, can you get her? I call. I'm a producer now because I'm helping this project get better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you gotta own your career. You gotta own your image. And like again, I feel more protective. I don't know if it's since I had a daughter, but I feel more protective to my women, to my black women especially, and actresses in general, because I see these young actors come on and they will be down to do anything to get on.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be privy to the guy who had the power. And actually exacerbated the abuse because we can tell this story creatively. We can make this sex scene. We don't have to lose the sex scene, but let's make it creative.
Yeah.
Let's make it dope. Artists, they don't just get your titties out because the producer's over here is a pervert. I experienced something like that early in my career. Early in my career, I did it early in my career. I'm not gonna name anybody at the time, but. The director of the film was a big time person in the game. Like they were like known, like people loved them. And the actress I was dealing with, she was young, I was young, and it was a series on it was a web series, and we had to do this sex scene. Now this was my first one, and he closed the set, just us and the director and the camera, the other camera person.
First one, excited, feeling away a little bit.
I was different than I am now.
Yeah.
I was more, I kind of want to see what this one working with at that time. Being honest, you know what I'm saying?
Nice
I'm being
watch.
honest. Yeah, she was a nice, she was a nice watch. But I remember the whole process, right? And I also remember her kind of getting a little uncomfortable in the midst of it. And we still did it. We did all the stuff the director telling us to do and how we executed. Came out pretty dope. But I remember that, and fast forward to it being shown, then Terry watched it. That was a discussion. She actually called the director and just went off.
So you were married at this point?
Yeah, I was married. So, and I didn't understand at that time, like, what you doing? Like, why you? Because they had a relationship, it was cool. And she's like, dude, I just thought that was not, it was kind of gratuitous. It didn't need to be done for the movie.
It didn't push the story along.
Exactly. So then at that point, I was kind of like, whatever. But then as I grew and I got older and more mature and started really credits lining more and more. And as I get to a certain point, and I was like, well, you know what? That was a good point. That didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And now, I'm still tight. We're still cool with the actress. We still talk to this day. And, that's 15 years ago now. But I remember that feeling. I never wanted to feel like the guy who didn't stand up for a sister or for anybody. Because I'd never been a guy who liked bullies. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'll never let that happen again. And again, I know my wife isn't as open to the artistry of it in the way of...
No,
she's more, I guess, more protective of I guess, the sanctity of the... I don't know what it's about. I can't answer for her, but I know she's not as comfortable doing. She's not even as comfortable doing it as an actress for her.
What, sex scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had a whole discussion like with recently where we was like, yo, we need to talk about them before we have them so we not both caught off guard and we watching something and it pops on. It's like, because that's happened before.
So because you did a show, was it Ambitions?
I don't know what I
think it was Ambitions.
Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff and then I don't ever talk about it.
Karan did a show. I believe it may have been Ambitions on the OWN network, but basically he had a sex scene and I don't think him and his wife spoke about it beforehand.
Right.
Wow.
And she just saw it like, oh, okay,
Right.
Wow, didn't know that was.
And I'm sitting there like this. Yeah, this I'm killing it, right? Killing it. And she's like, nah, it's not cool. And I'm like, what you mean? It's just what you mean? You know, it's fake, right? You know, it's make believe. But again, I have to, respect the boundaries, respect, what it is. But again, I tell her too, like, yo, it is what it is for me. It's work. Yeah. I have no
qualms.
No qualms.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes a nice watch is when it's real. The realer you make a scene, it's realer to the audience. And that's what makes things a nice watch.
Like Love Jones. They had some great love scenes in that, but that was necessary. The movie was called Love Jones.
And
like,
the chemistry. It made the chemistry better. It made it feel like, wow, I'm like, I know these two characters.
Yeah, you want to feel like you believe, like, yo, they really was in love. They really, this is a real story. Like, you feel it. And I think that's, when you're dealing with those kind of stories, it makes sense then. But if I'm like Power, they ain't talking about romance and power in no aspects of that show. Of none of them.
Well, I think their objective is to create the world of a drug dealer who's running these drug empires. They've got women and money and
that's a part
alcohol
of
and drugs and
that's
part of the world.
They got all that. We all are older adults. It doesn't take a genius to know you and Jay have sex, and me and Terry have sex. We're married, or you together. We don't have to see it.
Well, you do if you're watching TV, because you're watching it on a screen. It's got to be conveyed on screen.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like the Power they do a real good job of shock value sex scenes, not necessarily productive sex scenes. That's what I call it. They're shock value over productivity.
I love Power.
I love Power. I didn't say I didn't love
50 Cent, can't wait to work with you, babe.
Hey, I love it too.
Do you think is the most memorable love scene that you can remember? Like you were in it like, yo, this is special. Can you think of one?
I can't really say I could think of one that pops out like over time, but I can say Power, Angela and Ghost. You felt like he really loved her. Like
that was to me, that was the last series that actually used it properly.
What, the original Power? Yeah, because like it felt like she was more than just a side chick. It felt like
you didn't feel bad. You didn't feel bad for him having a side chick because the side chick was so pure.
A little bad, but
no, you didn't. No, you didn't because at the end of the day, he was such a pure love between them two.
They had a real love. So I think their connection and their physicality and their scenes definitely made me feel like they have a real love.
And they casted Tasha perfectly for that too, because I can understand why he was with her versus Tasha. Tasha got on my nerves. I would have had a side piece too.
Yeah, there's one love scene that I'll never forget.
What?
It was What's Love Got to Do with It. That was with Tina Turner, right?
Yeah, Tina Turner.
When he raped her by the fish tank.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a scene. I was a kid, and it's burnt in my mind.
Literally, you just reminded me of it, and I just refelt it again.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
it was so real.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna tell you ones that stood out to me was Love Jones. Obviously, the scene with her and them and Lorenz, and the first time they did it. Then she was in the car the next day explaining what it say. And she's like, girl, what it say? He's like, whatever she said. It was just, it was so dope. And then what was the other
you know what I just reminded me of? One that's ingrained in my mind forever. I saw as a child that I was like, oh, that dang soul food. When he slept with the cousin Faith.
Oh yeah.
And he had her up against that wall.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like, as a kid, I knew, they shouldn't be doing that. They are 100%. Wrong.
Yeah, because they was all it was,
and it was the way it was just raw and it was gritty and it was against the wall. And let me put your hands up against the wall, and it was. I'm like, as a kid, I understood, oh, they wrong.
Yeah,
So that was a really good scene because the truth was there in the scene. Like, they are dead ass wrong for that.
And that made the reason why it made, and that's a good
roller
story.
coaster.
And that's good storytelling.
That's a nice watch, man.
That's
Soul
a nice,
Food
that's
is
a nice watch.
watch.
Yes, because again, it made sense.
Yeah, and it was real.
Even in Eve's Bayou.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
Eve's Bayou, the sex
Eve's
scenes in
Bayou
there
is
was
a nice
necessary,
watch.
and it made sense to the story because they had to traumatize the girl. And all those things, it made sense.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm always about it being impactful.
Yeah.
Over
and relatable, because like a lot of those movies we just named, so classic because we all have seen those things in our families or people that we know, like someone's husband sleeping with someone in the family, or Big Mama and the Sunday dinners, or, you know, Eve's Bayou and she was molested by someone in the family. Like, these are all real things. So I feel like when art depicts real truth, it's like, oh, that's what makes it a nice watch. I relate to this. I've seen this before. I've heard this before.
Soul Food could not come out right now.
Soul Food is...
Because nobody does that anymore.
what?
Sunday
Family
dinners?
dinners?
We do family dinners still, but I think holistically, yes, people don't. But we do family
But
dinners.
the time of that movie, I
It was
think
perfect.
that's
It was the
100%.
last. It was kind of like the last
It's
hurrah.
not, Sunday
for-
dinner's not like a thing
Yeah,
anymore.
it was the last hurrah of the Cosby era where black families were still actually working on being a black family. Now it's pretty much, you know, free fall.
Y'all's kids are eating upstairs in their room. Come downstairs and eat at the table, sir.
Right. All that, it's a free fall now. Now it's just like, let me feed y'all so y'all go somewhere away from me.
Wait, I do want to get into Country Wayne's special.
Oh, yeah, Country Wayne, yes.
Because I watched it this week. I think I watched it last week, but I also saw it live in person, and I think it was a nice watch. And let me tell you why. First of all, it's super funny. But I just love that Wayne, as a comedian, keeps Jesus first. He's very adamant about it. He's loud about it. And he has, he's built this comedic empire online and within his special without cussing one time. Clean comedy. Nobody's doing that. And it was funny.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It was a nice watch. I don't have the same reasons why. Like I can care less about feeling like I'm at church at your comedy special. Or
But it's not churchy though.
anytime you bring up Jesus in the middle of it becomes, we don't need to talk about that right now. Let's do the comedy.
I don't think
That's
it
how I
makes
feel
it
about
churchy though.
I don't feel like anytime you bring up Jesus, any conversation outside of we at church somewhere, it's getting churchy.
It's not right.
So I don't have that love for that reason. I loved it because the way he worked the stage, he was comfortable. I love the way he used the rag on the mic to get back to use it to wipe it, but he
Yeah, that
actually
was
used
so
it
funny.
in the thing. And it, you know, the technical sides of him doing stand-up comedy and having the show, the lighting was great. The outfit was appropriately done. He checked the boxes for a stand-up show on Netflix, and he did it.
He is a true craftsman though. Like the way he crafts his jokes, the way he sets them up, like it's a skill to that. And he's not just up there talking. These are crafted. This is a crafted conversation.
I think anybody who's at that level of stand-up comedian, you have to have that part of your show. Like that's the difference between me going up doing a stand-up show and Country Wayne doing a stand-up show is I can get up there and be funny, but I don't have the skill set like they do to create the whole story that you have
behind it.
Because if you realize the joke started in the first minute and you go through the whole hour and you end it and you bring it back to the beginning, and that's a great show.
Yeah.
And that's a talent, and I stand up to all my, all credit to all my stand-up comedians that I know, like Rob Mingers, an up-and-coming guy that's doing really dope with his stand-up, creating the story. Country Wayne, of course, I love the greats. But like I said, to me, Country Wayne checked all the boxes for a special, and I look forward to seeing more. Definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely just killing the game. I think that it was my first time seeing him live. I went to his show, and I think at North Carolina or South Carolina, I drove up there to see the show live, and I literally was in tears crying. Yeah. Like just the way he talks about women and dating and his children's mother and his child.
Yeah, it's a lot.
His family and how he intertwines it all in, and then he just doesn't cuss. And it's like, oh, you still make this funny without one.
Obviously, I don't have a problem with
effort.
cussing. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the cussing, but like I don't have
less
a problem.
Jesus, more cussing. Come on, Country Wayne.
Yeah, I don't buy it. But see, it didn't make a difference if he cussed or not for me. Like the show, you see the stuff I mentioned, what made it good for me. Sure. It was funny, outfit, lighting. He used the stage properly.
Yeah, it was shot really well.
It was shot extremely well.
And
but
that's
I think when it comes to comedy, though, if you think of every comedian, probably besides Kevin Hart. He cusses a little bit maybe, but cussing is such a huge part of comedy. For you to do it, to have
David Arnold didn't cuss.
Who?
David Arnold.
I don't know who that is.
He just passed away last year, but he was a dope. He's the creator of that Lele show. He's the creator of that show.
Okay, I'm talking about when you think of the Richard Pryors.
If you want to see a
Eddie
great stand up,
Murphys.
go if just for nice watches, go back and watch David Arnold's stand up on Netflix as well. It's right down the lane that EJ's talking about. It's clean, and very, very, very.
But I'm just saying
well
it's
done.
not something that's common. So if you think of the Bernie Macs, the Richard Pryors, the Eddie Murphys, like the Emma Effers and the Effers, that's a big part of stand-up comedy, especially for our culture. So for Wayne to be able to do it and still be funny and get a special and be breaking down all type of doors in Hollywood on his own merit and still doing it without cussing, doing it in an unconventional way, it was a nice watch.
I do want to say real quick, but this is why, and I haven't seen the whole thing. This is why we're saying it's biased. Nobody's giving it points for those things that you mentioned necessarily, but you're his friend.
No,
You know what I mean?
that's not true. Even if I didn't know him, if you think of a genre of something, and it's like, say it's a love movie, a romantic movie, we know there's going to be sex. If you did a romantic movie and there was no sex in it and it was still good, I'd be like, dang, they did this whole romantic comedy and there was no sex.
You would not think of at the end of it, you're not thinking, you know what? They had no sex. That was really good. You don't think that way.
Yes, I do think
No,
that way.
you don't,
I do.
Ernestine.
Let's say you had a podcast. Every podcast has a mic.
The cat is crazy right now.
It's not. You do a podcast with no mic. You're like, dang, they did that whole podcast and there was no mics. That's crazy.
That's impossible. What are you talking about, Ernestine?
I'm just-
No, you're reaching. You're reaching.
I-
This is what you call reaching, Ernestine.
okay, I digress.
We're not saying it's not good. It's
It was a nice watch.
It was a nice
before
watch.
this, we were talking about you.
Well, we just saw the difference.
I'm just saying, cussing is such a big part of comedy. To do comedy and not cuss and it still be funny, that is something to be spoke about. For sure.
Or if you just watch any late night TV show, it's gonna be the same thing. No cussing, and they don't cuss every night. It'd be funny.
That's not a big part of late night TV.
Comedy is late night TV. The host is a comedian.
Stand up comedy. We're talking about stand
we
up.
just talking about. You said
We're talking about the greats. We're talking about the Richard Pryor, the Bernie Macs, the Cedrics,
and
the Steves.
and none of their and they the greats, and none of it's been taken away because they cuss.
Yeah, because all of them cuss. That's the whole point. That's my whole point I'm trying to make.
We understand
If we
what you're
have this
saying,
world
but
that
this
is
is the
infamous for
bias.
cussing,
Yeah.
it's not biased. You can't say it's biased because I'm his friend. That's not true.
extremely
Because if it wasn't funny, I'd be like, he looked good.
But it
he
was
looked
good.
handsome.
But it was good. It's just you're biased. It's all good. A little bit.
What D is saying is basically you don't have a bias, you just have a preference.
No, I don't even have a preference.
Yeah, before this, you didn't have a preference of a comedian that didn't cuss. Like it wasn't.
I don't have a preference of a comedian that doesn't cuss. I just think it's special that he's still funny without cussing.
Yes, and I
because
agree with that.
historically, stand-up comedians in our community drop a lot of F-bombs.
Right.
They drop a lot of MFers.
And
the fact that
yeah.
he's still holding his own and standing in the pit with
You
them
doing
and
his
not
thing.
doing cussing,
Yes.
not cussing is something to be
I
commended.
feel
It's
that.
basically like
Yeah.
making a rap
Yeah.
album without saying
It's
a cuss
something to
word.
be admired.
It's making a rap
100%.
album without a cuss word.
Yeah, you make a rap album without a cuss word and it's still fire. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're basically LL Cool J. He doesn't cuss a lot in his albums.
Or Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Or Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Shout out
There
to
you
Mike
go.
Teasy. Favorite Christian rapper.
But Will Smith is dope. I mean, I ain't mad at Will Smith.
Yeah,
I mean, shoot, I
100%.
love Will Smith.
Yeah.
Like
So,
I mean,
yes.
just like I love who cusses. Who cusses? I mean, I don't know. Again, it comes down to content for me.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? If either you end it with a MF or you don't. What was it? What was all said in the midst of that before that MF is what I listen to. The MF doesn't shock me. Not saying it doesn't shock me. You know, if it's well placed and used properly, it's a skill set.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Which is what the greats have proven.
Hey, first off, you're supposed to stand on it. Yes, that's my friend. I am a little
For
biased.
sure. But
Yes.
it's not, but I would say that if I was just being biased because he's my friend. And
She
he
would
is-
say it was bad.
And he is my friend. And if it was bad, I'd be like,
Right.
it was
For sure.
okay. Because y'all know me, I'm honest.
and I'm the same
Friend
way.
or not, it was good. And I think it's even more admirable that he's standing on his own without cussing in a field that is historically known for cussing.
And
feel
it was
funny.
And you can get your church session in for the week.
And it was
Karan
fun.
took points off from that.
Listen, we gonna always put Jesus in the room. We gonna put
hey,
Jesus in the room always.
Hey,
but it was funny.
You can go 2 for 1. You can watch the special and get your church in. You may send a little tithe in. You ain't got to show up on Sunday.
It was funny. It was relatable.
Yes, Karan.
It was relatable. I know the man related to it, especially when we start talking about side chicks and side chick being in the same room as you and women knowing how to cheat better than men. Like, it was relatable and it was funny.
I started watching last night. It's just my kids.
Yeah, and it was a nice watch. Shout out to Country Wayne.
Yeah,
Great, man. I didn't know we had that many kids, though, man. That was Jesus, man. You out here.
10 kids.
You got a football team.
Yeah, he's out here. Populating. I ain't mad at him.
All right, good session.
This is
I
great.
like it.
This is great.
Yeah. So to recap everything, just to put everything in a bundle, Hijack starring Idris Elba.
Yes, nice watch.
Nice watch. If you wanted to give it a rating, EJ, if 5 watches be in the top, what would you give Hijack?
You know what? When I used to work for Neiman Marcus, I used to sell a lot of these Chanel watches, right? Now, Chanel watch is a nice watch. It's not a Rolex, but it's still Chanel.
So Rolex is Rolex. So is Rolex to 5?
At the top.
That's the top.
Wait. I'm not. What's higher than a Rolex?
It's a lot. It's a lot of watches higher than a Rolex.
Watches,
That's why we probably
so
want to
Audemars
right now.
Is Audemars higher than a Rolex?
not history wise.
It would be top Rolex. Under that Audemars.
Petite.
Yeah. Under that, like.
You know,
Under that, like
we're
a
gonna have to look up watches.
We got to
we're
look
gonna
up
have this show.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is coming forward, guys. We're gonna have a rating scale for y'all
Based on watches.
based on the watch.
Yeah.
That it is. So we'll.
But I'm gonna give it a Chanel or Gucci watch. Cute little designer, sporty little. You know, it's a nice watch.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right.
It wasn't giving Rolex. It was still designer.
I'll give it a. I give it a Breitling.
Okay, took it back to the old school. Okay, cool.
Classic. You know, it did what it was supposed to do. A Breitling is a sailor's watch.
Yeah.
It did what it's supposed to do for me. So I'll say a Breitling. It wasn't what you say. It wasn't a conversation piece necessarily. Somebody gonna say, "Wow, that's a beautiful piece," but people gonna see it and be like,
and then you know what
you're dealing with. You know watches. Good. So that's what
I'm
it is for me.
I'm gonna give Country Wayne special women's pair of Rolex. It's timeless.
I'm gonna give him a Breitling as well.
Okay, I'm giving him a Rolex.
He's gonna get a Breitling as well. It was good. It was. I mean, I owned a Breitling, so I mean, it's a nice watch. Again, it served its purpose. I wasn't mad. I spent the hour and a half watching it. I learned something about Country Wayne. He did an amazing job on command of the stage.
Amazing. Yep.
And
he did seem comfortable up there.
And the best part I think of a nice watch is I'm looking forward to the next one from him. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I think that's bigger than anything.
Yep.
Like I'm looking forward to his next one because I know he's gonna get better. I know he's gonna get, it's gonna go up. So salute to Country Wayne. Salute to Idris Elba for another great show.
This was another phenomenal episode of Nice Watch. We will see you guys again next week.